YouTubers, Electric Adventures here, with a response video and contest entry to Classic Game Hunter's 2000 subscriber contest. Now I already posted a comment on his thing, but I thought I'd have a go at some arcade gameplay today, and I thought, well, I might as well put an entry in as well. So but what he's asked for are your top 3 favourite arcade games and a bit of a story behind them as well. So I've decided to do a bit of a waffle interplayed with a bit of gameplay, because I felt like playing some arcade games. Now I've done them on MAME because I currently can't play my arcade cab for more than 10 minutes before the monitor goes out, and I still haven't worked out the best way to film it anyway, so I thought I'd give this method a go. So please excuse the MAME gameplay, plus also my PlayStation Namco stick hooked up via a interface to MAME is being a little glitchy. So some of them with keys and some of them with a stick, and one of them is actually a combination of keys and stick. Now it's very difficult to cut down to 3 because I am a really big fan of arcade games. Now some that might make a cut, and one of them might be a bit of a surprise, but anyway, the first one that didn't quite make the cut, but I want to mention anyway, is Donkey Kong. It's one of the very first arcade machines that I probably ever played in my life at a milk bar, other than Space Invaders itself. Had lots of great fun with it. Always, put at least a couple of coins into it when I've been to an arcade. So, sort of had to mention that one as well. Also, one of my modern favourites is Raiden. Usually the original Raiden. I haven't actually played many of the variants since the original. Probably only Raiden and Raiden 2 are probably the 2 machines that I've seen around the place, but I've probably put the most coins into the original Raiden, and it's one of the reasons why that game is one of the ones that I collect on multiple systems. But you can pretty much find a Raiden machine anywhere around. Usually at an airport, if they've got a couple of machines, they'll have some sort of a Raiden machine. So lots of fond memories of a good shoot 'em up that I played in arcades. Right, now for the third, also ran, and it's been knocked out of the top 3 after a bit of a struggle, is Gyrus. I really do like Gyrus. I play it a lot, collect it on multiple systems, but just today it got pushed out by another older classic game that I remember that I used to enjoy more. So here we go. Without further ado, we actually go to the real top 3. So that was the also-rans. Now, so my first one, also number 3, is Moon Patrol. Now this game I always used to play every time I used to go to an arcade. It was at several. It was one of the games that was at an old arcade called Flashback, and several others since. I think the same machine stayed around in Hobart for quite some time. But I mean, obviously in the very early days of Flashback, it had a lot of interest and a lot of people on it. But then that machine was always there, and usually if the other current popular machines were full, I could always get a game on it. So I do fondly remember from childhood, and I like games that have got strong music, just like the Gyrus game has music that draws you in. So does Moon Patrol. It works really well, and is a good fun game. So let's go see me having a go at playing it. Okay, here we go with Moon Patrol. So this game, I would, if it was in an arcade, always put at least a couple of coins in and have a couple of goes. It always used to appeal, and I used to love the sound effects. It's one of those games that you have to watch in multiple directions at once, and the difficulty increases a little bit each time. And you can't just go flat out. You've got mini points where you go back to when you die. This one. And these buggers. You'd have to use the slow down, speed up mechanic, or you'll get hit by the guys. Pardon me. So this is a horizontal configuration game, and one of the ones I would like to get as a real arcade PCB one day. And there's one of the mistakes where you've got too much going on. See, things get a bit more complicated. And some ones you've got to time exactly, and you always have this urge to, well at least I do, of going flat out all the time. And that's one of those places. Alright, well there you go. Okay, now for number 2. So number 2 is the game Tutankhamun. I played it in its sit-down variant, although I have played it in an upright variant at a place in Queensland called Grundy's. I don't think it's around anymore, but it was an arcade centre up in Queensland that took up the entire top floor of the corner of the main mall on the Gold Coast, Queensland. And it's got, once again, strong music. It is extremely hard, but I played this game a heap, and at my local arcade when it was my only thing, which was Leisureland. It was around a couple of places earlier. It probably was the same machine. I was the top score for a short, for a period of time, and I think for a couple of weeks. Then came back in the arcade, and somebody had gone past that. So. It is damn hard a game, but it is great fun. It's really hard to find the thing. The same guy that I got my arcade cabinet off, he has the actual original sit down that I used to play. The sit down cabinet and the PCB are all intact. There is currently no tube sitting in it, so it is my mission at some stage later this year to try and find a price to talk him out of it. And then we'll have to go through a bit of a restoration project. Now I know he doesn't have any spare tubes, but I would, for that particular game, and being an original arcade cabinet, I would go to the extent of trying to find an original tube from somewhere on the mainland, ship it over. Alright, let's go and have a bit of fun playing Tutankhamun. I don't expect it will be very long because I haven't played it for a while. Right, here we go with Tutankhamun. Okay, playing on main. Set on its normal, quite difficult level. Now you have slightly more complex controls than other games. You have a button that shoots left, one shoots right. And you have a like a smart bomb or magic lantern. The various enemies have spawn points. Always used to love this game because of the amount of great sound and everything like that in it, and the quite hard difficult level. It doesn't muck around in chucking enemies at you. So, obviously you have to find a key first. You can only carry one key at a time, which comes into context shortly. The first level only had one key. You need to keep a careful eye on enemies spawning down below, so they can come out of any one of those. Ah. That was close. Go! And the controls, the movement is floaty sort of movement. Ooh. probably would have got out of that. So we've got our first key. But the hard thing is we need to go back. That's the hardest part of the going back there. I was lucky. You've got to be quick before there's too many enemies come on. Now, way back in the day, I actually held the record of this in our local arcade only. And as you can see, I'm quite rusty at it. Now on this, now in this section, as you can see, there are floating spawn points for the enemies. Now, of course, you don't have to go and get all the extras, and I am a blatant point grabber. So I'm just going to show a bit of level 3. As you can see, it's gone absolutely nuts with the enemy spawning. Oh, well, there we go. I'm dead already. But anyway, that's Tutankhamun. Okay, and now for my number 1. So this is the game that I continually go back to. I do play it quite often. I have, once again, quite a few home conversions. I have it on my arcade cab on my multi board. The sounds aren't perfect on it, so this is one that I definitely will get the arcade PCB for at some stage, and it is Time Pilot. And Time Pilot is one of those great fun games. I could get through a fair bit of the game, which is going through all 5 levels twice. It's about as far as I got because it got insanely hard. Yeah, so it really is a good, great game. So let's go and cut to some footage. Right, so here we have Time Pilot. Which is, without a doubt, my favourite arcade game of all time. Oh, missed the squadron. So you have a different control scheme in that your ship will move towards the direction you push. So if you push up, it'll rotate towards up, and if you push right, it'll go towards the right, which is why I play the game in a towards one diagonal. It also, that helps determine where the squadrons are going to show up, and if you can get a squadron like that, you get 2,000 points. And each parachute as you get in a row without dying will give you an extra 1,000 points. Almost messed up there. Up to maximum 5,000 points. And when you've killed enough enemies, which is now when the indicators run out. Whoa, got done by a bomb. The mothership for the level will come out. There he is. And then you walk to the next level. There you go, forward in time period. The enemy are a little bit smarter. Oops, I missed the parachutists and then stuffed up. And you have the extra planes, which are worth 1,500 each, well worth getting. Just having a quick game here. Oh, that was close. So as I said, I'm playing with some keys because my PS1 arcade stick is playing up with the control mappings at the moment. It does work with this one. To get 1,500 points. We've almost cleared this level and we're almost out of lives. So now this particular game I can play on my arcade machine, although since it's a multi-card, it's not, the sounds aren't quite right, but it still is enjoyable playing it on the arcade cab. And as you can see, we've got the high score on this main thing here. score's not very high, but I've actually gotten higher on the arcade cab. Right, end of level. Never too challenging the end of level, guys. It's more the guys that are shooting at you in the meantime. So, this level introduces, guided missiles, which are a pain. And sorry for the lack of commentary there. This is obviously quite hard and a reasonable challenge with keys. No, didn't circle well enough. So there we go, a muck around game I've already beaten high score that I had in this particular MAME instance. Okay, just a helicopter. Slightly harder because you have to watch out for any homing missiles that are on screen. Now, jet fighters are much more intelligent, and as you can see, they fly slightly faster than me. This is where I really need a joystick. I cannot do this level with keys. There we go. So there's a quick game of Time Pilot, which is my number one. So my most favourite game. Alright, thanks all. That's my top three. If you're not subscribed to Classic Game Hunter, make sure you go check him out. I'll put a link to his channel and his original video down below.